Good Morning Washington.
Well, navigating airports and the people in airports can be stressful, exhausting, maybe even annoying for you if you're a frequent flyer. But today we are getting expert tips from the author of How to Avoid Strangers on Airplanes, Brandon Blewett. Brandon is here with us. Welcome to Good Morning Washington, Brandon.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, this book I was starting to read yesterday. I probably do not travel as much as you. Talk to us about what inspired you to write this.
15 years of weekly work travel, and the book tends to write itself. Yes, I've seen it all.
Yes.
And I think that when you travel that much, you can either go crazy or you can laugh, or in my case, you can do both and chronicle it in a book.
Yeah, write a book. You're like, well, we got to write this down. People aren't going to believe this. Okay, so in this, just as what you were saying there, you talk about how if you frequent the airports for work, whatever, it can be a love-hate relationship. Explain what you mean by that.
It is. It's a place that you love to hate and you hate to love, because one of the fun things about airports is that I like my job. I'm on the go. It means that I'm going places. But then it seems like when people walk through TSA detectors that it strips them of all common sense. It's like, you know what? Something I would not do on a sidewalk is stop right in the middle when everybody is walking around. But you get inside the airport and that's people's first reactions. Right?
Perfect. What has happened? Why are we doing this here? That's one of the kind of annoying situations that you mention and outline in the book that drive people wild. Talk about some of the other ones. Gate lice. I found that was pretty funny.
Yes. So I whittled it down to 6 habits, and those habits are the ones that I've noticed are common. But
this is quantitative, people.
It is,
and qualitative. Yes.
But gate lice are the folks that they gather around the gate an hour before boarding, and they're in group 9.
Yes.
And just because your proximity is closer to the gate does not mean you're going to get on the plane first. And a lot of times you wind up delaying the process and could even delay the flight.
Yes. I mean, common sense.
Right.
As you said, why are we doing this? So talk about some of the solutions, because you are doing what they say is the Lord's work here, some would say, with this book. How to survive.
Would you please tell my mom that?
Okay, yes. She's on the record here. Like, how can we make our experience better? You outline some of those solutions as well, right? Talk about some of those.
Well, the book is, to me, it's a mirror. So if we stop committing these acts, then we realize these are the things that are highly annoying. So being more careful when you walk down the aisle with your bag so that you're not knocking the aisle seat person in the face, right?
Backpack to the face,
or maybe keep the volume at minimum if you're on the phone while you're on the plane.
Yes.
So there's
the
lots of tips like that.
Things hanging out of the carry-on. That was one of them. Like, what is happening here?
Flight attendants are not Mary Poppins. They cannot magically make the overhead bin fit.
That is so real. Okay, you have some really good hacks also for in our own journey, our own flying journey, especially with the holidays coming up, to make holiday travel. If we're all doing these things, it will make it smoother for all of us, right? What are some of those things, from technology to outfits, common sense from a frequent flyer? Yeah.
Always pack or always dress in layers, right? Just because it's cold outside does not mean that it will not be hot in the airport or on the airplane. Always keep a day's worth of clothing, medication, chargers in a bag that you can fit underneath the seat in front of you. So that way, if your bag gets lost, you at least have some items to keep you going for 24 hours. And then I think the most important thing is get sleep the night before, stay hydrated, and pack your own food, because my mom used to call it getting hangry, when you're hungry and angry in the same manner. And I think if you do those things, it can help change your mindset.
That's smart. And you also mentioned technology, I believe, as well.
Yes.
Some things to take advantage of. It's just quick download of some of these apps, right?
Absolutely. Okay. So the apps are great. They're going to give you all the push notifications. And if you book your air travel through a third party, you can still get your confirmation code and get it into the app and enable the push notifications, and make sure you log into the Wi-Fi, because that way, if there's a gate change last minute, it's going to come up on your phone, and we're all buried in our phones these days.
You will not miss the notification. Eliminate some of the stress. Brandon, what do you hope when people read this, even if it's been gifted to them, maybe because they're a frequent flyer and this will make them laugh? Number one piece of advice for travels from your experience.
I hope that people laugh at the stories and also see that there are parallels between literal travel and our professional journeys. And things aren't always going to go the way that we intend for them to, but you'll still ultimately get to a good destination.
One more curious question. How to Avoid Strangers on Airplanes. How did you come up with that title?
It's a play on words. So it sounds a bit curmudgeon-y. So that was kind of the humor in it. But then it really focuses on the stranger habits. So it's how do we avoid those stranger habits in reality?
And you said a friend even told you, hey, some of those conversations on a plane. Don't talk to me. I'm trying to avoid strangers. That is so funny. Okay, Brandon, where can people get a copy of your book if they want to pick it up for themselves or friends?
It's on Amazon, it's on Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, and there's all those links on my website, which is brandonblewett.com.
All right, perfect. The love-hate relationship doesn't have to be hate. It can be more thoughtful than that. Brandon Blewett, author, thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Washington. Don't fly away. We got more Good Morning Washington on the way, but first, here's today's America's Steals and Deals.